So selfless, putting people before you. And as a matter of fact, going back to Jeff, you heard a server will be your master. Jesus was a server. But there is no way to be a server without the idea of applying something good to the person. With the idea of serving must be related of doing something for you, for your own good. Different from server to serve you, so you give me something back. I don't care. I don't want nothing back. You want to give me something back? Whatever you give me, I'll take it. But it's not why I'm doing so. So you apply these principles. You apply these principles in any environment, work, including work. People will follow you.
Welcome to 99 Humans. My name is Jeff Lakusta, curious coach and Wall Street Journal best-selling author, striving to understand how little things generate big impact.
And I'm Nadia, Carta, tech executive and lifestyle coach with a mission to transform lives and corporations by kindling hearts to generate a zeal for life.
Each week, we investigate stories about the human side of leadership to re-energize your spirit and help you become a stronger leader.
Because the reality is that leadership is messy, goofy, challenging, but always human.
Thanks for spending time with us today. Let's dive in.
So, Pasquale, let's start with something amazing that you just did. You ran the New York Marathon.
Correct.
So,
yeah, let me see if I have something here that connects to. Okay, go ahead. What's the question?
Yeah, no, I mean, I want to hear how you're feeling because it seems to me that it's quite a take.
No, it's amazing. It's amazing. Honestly, I've ran so far about 5 or 6 New York City half, right, marathon. But that was my first big marathon, right? But it was a totally different feeling. It was a totally different. One thing that really impressed me is that people look at you in a different way. After you finish, I don't know. I didn't expect I guess it is a huge an important thing, because then I found out that the reason Road Runner has a circle of a marathon is called the 6 majors. That every runner wants to complete the 6 majors. There are many marathons, including Rome and major cities. But New York, Boston, Berlin, London, Tokyo, New York, and Chicago are called the majors. There is also a marathon in Miami, but it's not part of this circle. So if you are a professional runner, one of your goals is to complete all of them, right? Among the 6 majors, the most important one is New York City.
Well, congrats on doing your first one.
There is something there, like pretty much everything in New York. Anything that happens in New York, it bounces in a different way around the world, And indeed, the marathon it's so powerful. It inspires people.
Did you catch the bug, or are you one and done? No more marathons for you.
That's what you say when you're running it. But then I said, no more marathon. 2 days ago, I received an email from the Road Runner that I won a spot in New York City half in March for free. So, congrats. Yeah. So it was great. Yeah. I took 8.5 hours. But you know what was the most amazing thing? You're not going to believe it. I had the best tasting menu of my life. How's that possible, right? I explained to you. Because you cross all the neighborhoods in New York. I'll give you an example. You get in Bay Ridge, right? From Staten Island, because Staten Island is just the bridge, right? And then you dance right in the heart of Bay Ridge, very Italian neighborhood, right? So you get Italians there with coffee, con il caffè, no? Because it's 8 o'clock in the morning, no? So the families are there, no? Because they close the streets, right? So these people are enjoying it. So I passed by, because I was walking, I wasn't running. Hey, ciao signora, hey, apri il caffè, dai, fotografia, no? So coffee. Then you go and you pass a Jewish neighborhood, and those guys are out with their own food, the matzo balls like at 9 o'clock in the morning. And then you go to the Puerto Ricans. You get come si chiama?
A
Mm,
world tour.
empanadas. And then we go Harlem, they're outside barbecuing. And then I go in people's home. They sit down with them. So it took 8.5 hours. And I enjoy the people. I enjoy taking photos. And then the bars in Williamsburg, people offering you beers, wine. So
Oh
it was
my God,
nice.
Pasquale. I mean, how can you run with your belly so full?
No, I mean I taste there. I enjoy. And then you get the vibes, the different vibes, and then you realize how amazing is New York City. All these different cultures, right? Different neighborhood, different food, different vibes.
I
Yeah.
think your turn into enjoying the food aspects of the New York Marathon are on brand, I think, for you, which is
It's
amazing.
something about it. It was crazy. It was beautiful, man. I enjoyed
I'd
it.
love
Yeah.
so in kind of learning about you beforehand. This is the first time that we've met, but just to sort of understand a little bit and ground me and what it is that you do, I saw that one of your catchphrases is creating transcendent dining experiences. And I loved reading about that and seeing that. And I wanted to hear from you. What does it mean to have a transcendent dining experience?
Uh, well, I can tell you in my own words what it means for me. For me, it means to be able to uh, to share not mine, but our as Italians, our rich culinary heritage. But in a way that it's not about my food or as a chef. It's about to how to make people happy throughout the food of Italy. So in other words, I am not the star. I am not the most important, like a chef when we go to a restaurant. I am one. I tell everyone I like to be seen, and I know we heard this before, like a grandmother, and I know we heard this before. The meatballs, of my grandmother, the artichoke, of my grandmother, and so forth, right? But I explain to you what it means. The most important ingredient, whenever we are cooking for people, is love. Okay, why is so important? Because when a grandmother has, let's say she has 10 different 10 grandchildren, right? Okay, but one of them doesn't eat parsley, the other one doesn't like long pasta, likes short pasta, and then another one can eat garlic and so forth. So she makes sure that each one of her grandchildren gets exactly what they want, right? And if that means that she has to make 10 different dishes, okay, she will go out of her way, get up 4 o'clock in the morning to make sure that she's looking forward to see her grandchildren. Okay, so there is no sacrifice, there is no work, because love makes you do anything. Okay, so with the same perspective, I cook for people. Like I'm happy, and I make sure that I share with them something that it's going to make them happy. And food from Italy, the ingredients from Italy have been making people happy from around the world, right? All over the world, right? Uh, and But sometimes uh, well, what I'm about to say didn't start now. It started probably in 1960. We get back if you like. We can talk about it. Where we took out the direct relationship with guests, and we start plating everything. So when you go to a restaurant today, you sit down, you order, and you get your salad, you get your pasta, you get your main course. So, but what's missing, in my view, is the most important piece, is the what's linking the partner in front of you and the people in the back of the kitchen. So for me, in my dinners, I make sure that this piece is right there that people can see. So
Well, Pasquale, let me ask you a question because I wanna dwell into this people element because I've always seen a chef as an incredible leader. You need to keep everyone delivering with you. I mean, I assume you have so many people in your team, like you don't do everything alone. And I'm sure you have had experiences in big kitchens, and there's a lot of leadership that is required to be a successful chef. Like part of it is knowing the technicalities associated with the food, so your role related knowledge, let's call it that way. But then you need to have an incredible leadership so that people and the clients follow you. So I wanted to understand a little bit, how did you arrive to be who you are today and how you are today? And what was the mess in between? Because I know you have some pretty rough stories.
yeah, I think that one of the leadership skills for make this happen, again, is love. You have to love. I do anything to make the people who are so love. Let's put it in a different way. At the end, it's the same, but put it in a different way. Probably, maybe in leadership, the terminology probably would make more sense.
You can talk about love on this show. We love talking about love and leadership.
I'll tell you on a different with a different terminology, which means the same thing. Um, um, selfless. Selfness, in one word. Selfness. Is that right? Selfless. I put everybody before me,
Yeah.
including my team. Anyone that's around me, I come last.
I've heard it put kind of as a servant leader almost, where which
But
maybe in chef terms, it resonates on multiple levels.
Jeff, as a matter of fact, my career began in the dining room. I was a waiter, I was a server, I was a bartender, I was a bellboy, I was a receptionist, and then I moved into the kitchen. And the reason why I wanted to do it, because I wanted to get to know all the department what makes hospitality. At the end of the day, no matter where you are, okay, you have to be able to understand that the other people in front of you come before you. And you want to know more? Romans, the ancient Rome, okay, conquered the world and used hospitality.
What do you mean by that? I didn't know this.
Yeah, ancient Rome, when they conquered the world, they were very hospitable with the people they were going to visit. Okay, if that didn't work, they used other means to conquer them, fighting probably. Yeah. But think about it, no? If I come to you and
I trust you.
I say, then Nadia, Jeff, listen, do you see this piece of land? What about you guys? You see, you don't have work. You don't do. You see how much we have. We want to share with you. Okay, we're gonna make your life better. Okay, but this we're gonna handle all this. Okay, this becomes our land, sort of speaking, no? Okay. Now what's called the Greeks. For the Greeks, a foreigner, a visitor, was a divine figure. But watch how important this part is. It was a divine figure. So a foreigner visitor will come into town, right? You know when someone is not from the place, right? So it was a divine figure because you had to do anything possible to make sure this person was safe, this person was taken care of, because otherwise something from the sky will come straight at you. Okay, so I had to make sure that I take care of these people, okay? Because I never know what's going to happen to me, right? So you have a fear or whatever it was, right? So you did. By doing so, it didn't matter to you if this person was a lawyer, if this person was a rich person, if it was a homeless. It didn't matter what color or religion, because it was a divine figure. Now we take this exactly the same principle, and guess what? We put into not only in hospitality, but even if we go to a mechanic, hairdresser, okay, we want to be seen as someone that we want to be taken care of. That's not only the food, or that's not only the air, but everything else.
I
So
love this. No, go ahead.
Back to the question, the leadership part. So selflessness, putting people before you. And as a matter of fact, going back to Jeff, you heard a server will be your master. Jesus was a server. But there is no way to be a server without the idea of applying something good to the person. With the idea of serving must be related of doing something for you, for your own goods, different from server to serve you, so you give me something back. I don't care. I don't want nothing back. You want to give me something back? Whatever you give me, I'll take it. But it's not why I'm doing so. So and so you apply these principles. You apply these principles in any environment, work, including work. People will follow you.
You radiate a passion for what you do so much.
Thank
And
you.
I think that, like, it is so fun to talk to people who are doing their passion for a living. And you have had incredible success. I mean, being in Modern Luxury Manhattan Magazine, being featured in shows, rising to the level where you have the opportunities that you have.
Look at this. You see this guy? You see this?
Yeah. What is that?
Okay. This is a napkin with a signature.
What's the signature?
It's framed. Whenever you finish, I'll tell a story. That everything's related to what you're saying, everything related to leadership, everything related to people.
Well, I was going to ask, because you have had so much success pursuing your passion, and there's a lot of people out there who would love to have success pursuing their passion. So I'm wondering if this has been a smooth journey for you. You knew you loved food, you knew you loved hospitality, so yes, I'm successful. Or what's a bump along the way? How, what was the real, true, hard journey to be successful doing what you love?
Well, I can tell you what pushed me to believe in it. I was born in Puglia. From my parents were farmers. Farmers at usufrutto, which is a word I don't know how to translate in English. Mussolini. After World War II, there were so much land that was abandoned from people. Because at some point, especially in the 60s and 50s, at some point there was a switch in society, especially in the Western society. We moved from rural life. We moved towards a more urban life. So all the work that there was and nobody wanted to be in the rural kind of society, But that's it's so important for humanity, because agriculture is right there. Okay, if we don't take care of agriculture, our land, we can sustain ourselves. And not, as a matter of fact, we are in one of the most important health crisis ever. We are dying because of processed food. We are dying of all different kind of diseases due to the quality of food that we're eating. So, but Mussolini said, "Hey, let's guys. Everyone was to work in a bank. Everyone was to work in an office. Okay, so you own the land, right? Your parents own the land, but you don't want to proceed with the land. So you know what we do? Okay, we passed a law that you give to land to a farmer that does not possess a land. They take care of it, and then they take a percentage of it. That was my parents. They were given some land. They were working the land, but we didn't make a lot of money. So my dream was always to be able to buy a house for my parents. Okay, because we always rent. No, there was no way to do it. So in Puglia, so I went on the cruise line in the Caribbean. They disembarked me. They fired me because they found me with weed in my cabin in the Caribbean. So then I went to Milan, then I went to England, then I came to New York. So with the idea of making enough money, so I came to New York on my own, and I worked for, I stayed in a basement in Brooklyn under fake identity because I didn't have working permit.
Wow.
Yeah. But I always pay tax though. I was paying tax for a person that was dead. I was able to get a social security, but I was paying tax. I don't know where the money was going, but I was paying tax.
Yeah.
The money was going to the government. I was not going to benefit from it because it was not really my. But then I found a way for the government to give me my real number. So it's a tax ID number that would allow me to pay tax under my name, although I didn't have the permit, the working permit. But all these, finding the people, finding the offices, going to sleep, and you don't know if what I was doing, if it was legal, not legal, if I get caught, what happens to me, because you don't have I didn't have an internet, I didn't have people to ask. I was completely by myself, But I went, and I did it, But deep inside myself, I know it was a need for me. And I know I didn't want to steal money. I didn't want to do something as legal as possible. Okay, and if that meant for me to lose money, I didn't care. But my intention were good intentions. And then I started working, and one time I ended up in the hospital because I had a very bad stomach ache. But I left the hospital at night. I pulled everything and escaped because I don't know what's gonna happen to me, Because I knew you had to pay. It's a lot of money, But I have my fake IDs, So then the bill were coming to my house, but it wasn't. I was not what the bill was saying I was, Stories that happen every day still today in New York, in America, and I know it was the bill was about $17,000 for 4 days in a hospital. So you feel bad because you feel like you're stealing something, that you wish you could do different, But I only had a stomach ache. I don't know what to do, So.
I have a question, Pasquale, because you talk about this with a smile almost in your face, and those stories are so rough. How did you I don't want to say survive emotionally, but what was pulling you through? Because it's almost like you had a faith into something. Like what?
Faith, yeah. Higher power. This is when I start finding. When I start connecting the dots today, and I look back, like Steve Jobs said, you can only connect the dots by looking back. And I started realizing that I have still today, I have a higher power. I'm guided by a higher power. Which one of us has one faith? You can have in Jesus or in Allah, or in any God that you believe, or anything, any spiritual force, right? I believe in my own spirituality. My higher power guides me every day. As a matter of fact, one of the stories is one day I was hungry. I was so hungry. I had no idea where to go. There was nothing home. I was cycling my bicycle that somebody stole it $30. He gave it to me, but I didn't know it was somebody. I didn't, they just go, "You want this bicycle? $30." He said, "I'll take it." So I bought it, and he told me, I stole it from somewhere. So your stories, normal stories, no? So I bought it. I bought from him, and it was 2 o'clock in the morning in Brooklyn. I was cycling, and I was hungry, but everything was closed. And at one point, I turned around. I turned a street, and I saw almost like a UFO, like just landed, like a huge building, so bright with so many lights. It was all dark, and it was Stop and Shop. Stop and Shop open 24 hours, but it was in a way it was dark, right? And then I turned, and it was like this light of hope, almost a connection, no? And it was
Here's
open.
food.
There's food. There is hope. And I bought
Is
food.
there seeing where you are today and winding back to see where you've come from a cruise ship, losing that job. My grandparents immigrated to the US illegally as well, and I've heard some, similar stories of the tax ID
Yeah.
numbers. I mean, this is a very hard place to start climbing a ladder, and yet you have reached such a high rung. Is there a moment you can remember where you realized, I don't know if this is the right phrase, but that you made it, if you know what I mean?
No, but I can tell you, Jeff, before we get to the point, after 6 months in New York, there was a point that I said, I don't think I can do it. And I went on 18th Avenue in Brooklyn to the agency, the traveling agency, to purchase the ticket back. Okay, I did not know until maybe a few years ago that this happened to me, but I never went inside. I don't remember. I never went, but I knew that I wanted to go back, but it never happened. So it never happened. So that meant that I had to be here. Now going back to your question, to the question before, I don't know if I don't even know how people perceive me. I don't know how people perceive me. You perceive me this way, and I appreciate your words. It's very encouraging for me. But I don't know. I don't have a destination, and I never did it for a destination that I can reach a point. I know my only destination is that when I leave this world, I hope that I left something for people to take from me, regardless what it is, But I know it was mine. I built it, and then I'm hoping that can be my daughter, my family, anyone that can take it. Can be, I don't know, whatever it could be, some type of I don't know, a recipe, a dish, a photo, something. I know for sure that I help people. I like to help people, no? And I raised so far about $500,000 for charities on my own, by donating dinners, helping. But that also means packing food when it's left over, putting in my car, and I know I'm gonna find somebody in the streets to give to. So these are the things that I live for. Understand? I'm not looking at my business. I don't know. I'm not looking at anything. I'm looking. Well, let's put it this way. I'm looking. What drives me, that anything I do, it can be good to me. For me, it can be good for anyone who's around me, including the people that I cook for.
Pasquale, I will say that I had the privilege to experience one of your dinners through Julia, and Julia also came on 99 Humans, and so it's definitely was one of the best dinners I've ever had. I know you're writing a book also.
Yes.
When is your book coming?
Hopefully to 2024.
What's it about?
The name of the book is Happy Around the Table. Probably, I hope this can I hope this succeeds, the book, and because I know there is quite some information that will will help people to look at food in a different way, with different eyes, you know, because the dinner table is probably the most important place for humanity.
Wow.
You know, so it doesn't matter whatever you have to put on the table. The moment that you sit down, regardless what you're sitting on, and what you have a surface in front of you, another person is in front of you, okay, you are feeding your emotions. You're feeding your emotion the same way that you are feeding, whether you have a piece of bread, right, or a kilogram of caviar or truffles or whatever you want to call it. So this is the object, right? Food here, okay, the food here. Now, regardless what's this food, okay, the emotions, the food off the plate, the emotions are exactly the same. Exactly the same. And those emotions are love, gratitude, passion, romance, anything, happiness. Okay, and this happens in the dining room, at the dinner table every single day in every part of the world. And there is no one table more important than the other. No, no, no. Because we're talking emotions, come si dice, not tangible food.
We're getting close to the end, but I have a very selfish question, and I think you may be the man to answer it for me, because I find, a fancy dinner, even the way I ask this question is revealing. A fancy dinner in and of itself is kind of intimidating to me, because it seems like maybe like I have to become a more professional, a more polished version of myself in order to truly live in and enjoy this upscale experience that I'm having. And you are putting on incredible events. How can I be a good guest at a transcendent dinner? Are there any tips that you have for people to really enjoy this kind of experience as a consumer?
Be yourself.
I love that.
Nothing more, nothing less. Nothing more, nothing less. Honestly, we took the wrong path when it comes to restaurant for already too long, because we are getting intimidating, because people at the dinner table can't be themselves because of whatever. We need to be in a certain we need to be in a certain way. We need to eat the food in a certain way. We can't ask questions. We get to a point that if you ask for salt, the people may embarrass you. The chef comes out and he gets mad. This is crazy. Should not. So we got to this point. It's okay for you to educate me, but it's not okay for you to embarrass me. I'll take your education why I'm not supposed to put salt, and I'll take your education, okay? But I don't think I should be apologizing to you because I want salt, whatever the situation might be, And this happens because in my view, we went from the one type of service before, especially in Italy. The service was you sit down at the table, okay, and you order pasta. They cook the pasta for you. They cook the sauce, okay. Some of it, not the entire menu, but some of it, and usually it was the best selling item. They bring the pot in the dining room in front of you by a table, by a service table, a cart, okay, and they will finish off the pasta in front of you, and then we serve it to you. By the time the pasta was ready, me as maitre d', the real maitre d', we don't have no more maitre d' now. Now you have managers. Jeff, what's going on? Nadia, how are you? So I saw that, just say that your friend just launched the book, right? Like what happened, Nadia, no? You see, so there was an interaction. Oh yeah, I'm so happy. So okay, oh wow. So we are starting a relationship now. But now the food comes. So tell me more about the book, and then I start, making like even slicing a piece of meat or deboning a fish. So this relation, the talking, that's still food. That is food off the plate. It's called the primary food, believe it or not.
I will
So
say this, Pasquale, that I have never closed a deal without food on the table. And
correct,
my
correct.
clients know this, all of my clients, and they actually love me for this very reason. And it is because any tough conversation, any celebration, anything that I always bring food. I'm now realizing with you talking, I'm even reflecting that even when I go to my office or to my client's office, I'm always bringing pastries, I'm always bringing snacks. It's almost like I cannot do business without food.
Food brings sparks. Nothing more than food sparks emotions.
Mm.
Uh,
Um, from physically and mentally, because once you put something in your mouth, all your hormones kick in. All type of reactions from your hormones. Pleasure, happiness.
mhm.
You know, plus then this is from the body standpoint, from emotionally, the gesture of something bringing something for you, it's very powerful.
Mhm.
So that's why it doesn't matter the food that I'm cooking for you. So that's why it shouldn't be about the food. It shouldn't be about the chef. It should be about more the emotions between humans.
I am
Okay.
so glad that you do what you do and that you're writing a book. Happy around the table sounds like the dream because I actually really agree with you. And I haven't, had too many super upscale dining experiences for a lot of the reasons that you've said. But going to a dinner with you sounds amazing to me. That sounds like that's the kind of experience I want to have.
It should be about you, Jeff. I started my dinners by mentioning the name of my company, Alloro. Alloro is bay leaves, L'Oreal, right? L'Oreal it's the meaning of gratitude.
Mhm.
Mm,
It has a meaning of is the symbol of art, it's symbol of a hope, because bay leaves are always green throughout the year. The symbol of resilience, because no matter what, the bay leaves always green, no matter if it snows or hot, all year long, they're always green, right? So, but gratitude is the most important thing for me, because I'm grateful let's just say I'm here cooking for you, and I'm grateful that Nadia or Julia, whatever, you choose me to come into your home. Or if I had a restaurant, I am grateful that you choose my restaurant out of New York City, 40,000 restaurants. You choose me. This is the highest gratitude for me. It should not be the other way around, that you have to thank me because I'm the chef. No, it doesn't work like that. I thank you because you choose me to feed you, feeding people, putting the food in your mouth. It's one of the highest honor.
Well, Pasquale, we would keep you here all day, but we have to let you go. And here's our last question. We have one last question that we ask all of our guests. This question is, if you were to give one advice for the people listening this episode, what your advice would be?
Help people.
Hmm.
Help, give. Be a giver. Give, give. Always give. Whatever you can give.
That's beautiful. I
I
know
love it.
Jeff loves this.
I love that. Of course, yes. This is a big value that I have because there's of course the sort of selfish give, like give and often more comes back to you. but that is not like it is. Why are we here? It's a deeper,
Uh,
what is the point of all of this if not to help each other,
give,
give? I love that.
yeah, just give, and everything will come. And if it doesn't come, it doesn't. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Going to sleep that you give something to somebody, you forget, even forget. So give, help people and give.
Thank you for coming on the show. I will be looking forward to enjoy another meal with you, and we will find the way of. Oh, we're gonna organize it ourselves. And I truly wish you, Pasquale, all the success, more abundance to you, and you deserve to continue soaring.
Thank you so much, guys. Happy holidays.
Love
Ciao.
You too.
you.
Thank you.
Bye. Oh, I love Pasquale.
What a great spirit. I mean, said it during the episode, but just oozes his joy for what he does. I don't know about you. I wish I could ooze that kind of joy about what I do every day. I'm not sure I am connected quite so much to my passion in my day-to-day corporate job.
It's tough, but you are a giver. I know that, and you give a lot, and you create joy in different ways. I was not aware of the rough past of Pasquale, and what a great resilience and courage lineup right there.
Yeah. Yeah. The journey is so impressive, knowing not the destination but the current spot. Yeah, that was really powerful. Well, so Nadia, in true 99 Humans fashion, what's the main takeaway for you from that conversation?
Hmm. Well, you were mentioning about this thing about there was never there was never the destination, but I'm gonna go with something else because when he said it, it really struck on me. So some of the listeners know that I had a kind of a rough upbringing, and so the way I was parented probably is not the ideal one. My parents didn't know any better, so I have compassion for them. But when he said, we all want to be taken care of,
Mm,
that for me really hit me because the people around me probably would not think that I need to be taken care of. I'm always the person that is taking care of others, either by being a leader, either by being a manager, either in my coaching practice or in my Spark Your Zeal business, as a mother. I mean, women are by definition probably more on the giving side because think about it, like we breastfeed, we give birth, like it's there's this thing about giving. And I've been on my journey recently to accept the fact that I like to be taken care of.
mm,
I need to be taken care of. And while I do it myself for myself, my self-care practices are very solid. I love when someone takes care of me, Jeff. I love when someone writes me a nice message or even a small thing like when people bring me coffee in the office, when people bring me a bunch of flowers, and when my daughters make a draw for me and they say, Mommy, I did it because I love you. And for me, this message that Pasquale says that food is taking care of others, we are in a society that we need to take care of each other a little bit more. And we need to break this belief that wanting to be taken care of is selfish or needing. This is a human necessity. So that really, really, really hit me.
mm.
And it made me realize that because I appear so strong, because I appear so bright, and because I appear so giving, I probably need to talk more about how much I need to be taken care of.
I love that, Nadia. I think the mixture of giving, generosity being so critical, and as a culture we need more of this on the planet, mixed with the intentionality of how do I give, when do I give, where do I give, because we'll run out, the famous tree, of the famous book about the giving tree. If I don't know if you have read this, but it's the tree that gives to a little boy, and he goes, I want, sticks, I want this, and the tree ends up as a stump and it dies. And it's like a really sad children's book. One of the most famous, like, why did it end that way? But it's a really important message, I think, about what we're talking about, because we need that. But your point is a good balance to that, where there's an element of being intentional about how we give that's so important. My main takeaway is about perseverance, because this journey has not been and will not continue without that perseverance. I mean, we didn't get into it, but I think it's a well-known fact that the food industry is brutal. It is challenging to succeed. It is challenging to stand out, and to last, and to see somebody and talk to somebody who's made a very long, very successful career in this industry, and then to hear where it started. I think that shows so much perseverance. And I liked hearing, he mentioned what is pushing him forward, buying that house for his parents, wanting to give back as being a driving force. I think what's neat about that was there's so much intrinsic motivation, which is the best kind of motivation because it lasts. It allows for that long form kind of journey that he has been on. It definitely is one that I like to reflect on, is, okay, what are my intrinsic motivators? What am I persevering towards? And where am I on that? And I think that it was a good conversation, just through a different kind of a lens that I don't know all that much about, but loved all the kind of parallel themes and ideas that now are making me think, all right, what do I think about that?
Well, I was so grateful that I could bring Pasquale on the show. And I want to thank Julia for finding Pasquale and for offering me one of the dinners cooked by him, because it was absolutely incredible. And who knows, maybe one day Pasquale will host a dinner for all the 99 humans. I'm going to put it out in the universe.
That was in my head as well. We need to make this happen.
That would be brilliant. Jeff, it has been such a pleasure seeing you today. I want to thank our listeners for listening also to this episode. If you like it, give us 5 stars, share our review, share it on LinkedIn. It truly helps us in making sure that we can continue to do this. And it also helps our egos selfishly. And what I'll say, until the next time.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Nadia. Good to see you.
Bye.